Okay, so once again, good afternoon, class. Let's continue yung ating discussion. This is the last part in the crisis incident management natin. The last part na to. So dito tayo sa implementation of methods to deal with hostage situation, Rule 22 ng ating PNP Operational Manual. Of course, ito yung mga following steps to be undertaken, class, kapag magkakaroon tayo ng hostage taking situation. Okay, so tandaan niyo sa section 1 natin, of course, una dyan, the crisis management task group shall be activated immediately kapag kinakailangan. Second naman, incident scene shall be secured and isolated. Dapat it must be protected. Third naman, an authorized person shall not be allowed entry and exit to the incident scene, and the witnesses' names, addresses, and other information shall be recorded. Then witnesses shall be directed to a safe location. So, of course, class, kailangan rin natin ng proper documentation in case. So, yan yung sa section 1 natin. As we go on, under section 2, class, kinakailangan natin that there is a ground commander. Okay, so again, tanda natin, yung ground commander dapat shall only be one ground commander in the area. Isa lang para for the uniformity of instruction as well. Okay, so again, ang commander natin or ground commander, there shall only be one ground commander in the area. And under section 3 naman, yung tinatawag na rin na negotiator. Ang negotiator shall not be designated by the ground commander. So, ibig sabihin, no one shall be allowed to talk to the hostage taker without clearance from the negotiating panel or ground commander. So, di ba? The commander should not negotiate and the negotiator should not command. So, ayan, dapat meron tayong tinatawag na clearance from the negotiating panel or ground commander before we will conduct yung negotiation natin. Okay? So, ayan. Then, meron din tayong tinatawag na assault team. Okay? Yung assault team naman shall be alerted for deployment, class. Kailan natin ina-activate si assault team? Okay, i-activate natin yan, class. The assault team will be activated immediately, agad-agad, whenever or the case or whenever the negotiation fails. Halimbawa, hindi pumalpak yung negotiation natin. So, ang assault team ang kailangan natin dyan. Again, ang assault team shall be alerted for deployment whenever the case or the negotiation fails. Halimbawa, palpak or hindi nakipag-settle or hindi nakapag-negotiate yung tinatawag natin na hostage taker. So that's the time, automatically, class, the assault team will be activated immediately. Okay? So an easily recognizable uniform during the conduct of Operation Bonnets shall not be used. Okay? So again, ulitin natin. Ang pinaka-purpose ng assault team, it shall be activated immediately whenever the case or whenever the negotiation fails. Okay? Yan yung trabaho ng assault team natin. Ang assault plan naman natin, of course, that is the plan to ensure the minimum threat to life for all parties. Yan yung guidelines, guys, ng ating assault team whenever they are exercising or whenever they are employing yung assault. Okay? Then, of course, we have the support personnel. The support personnel naman na tinatawag natin, it is an ambulance with a medical crew and a fire truck shall be detailed at the incident. So, ibig sabihin, class, naka-standby yan sila kapag magkakaroon ng tinatawag natin na crisis management. Okay? So, yung fire truck kapag may sunog or yung medical crew natin, dapat they are at on alert. Ibig sabihin, dapat nakatambay lang sila. Okay, then of course, kailangan din natin na under section 7, kailangan din natin ng proper coordination with all participating elements shall be done to consolidate the efforts in solving crisis. Kailangan din natin makipag-partner, di ba? Para ma-make sure natin na maging effective 100% yung ating negotiation. Then of course, number 8 or section 8 ng ating 20 manual, in negotiating for the release of the hostage, the safety of the hostage shall always be the paramount consideration. Ibig sabihin niya, guys, ang pinaka-focus kaya nagkaroon tayo ng negotiation is to save the lives or to save the life of the hostage or kapag sobra or the hostages, di ba? So again, under the safety of the hostages, yan yung pinaka-paramount consideration natin or yan yung pinakauna nating tinitingnan, class, why we are conducting yung tinatawag natin ngayon na negotiation. Okay, nakuha ba? Yan yung purpose ng negotiation natin, to ensure the safety of the hostages. Okay? Kasi nga, that is the paramount or that is the most important consideration. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo, class? Nakuha ba? Nandyan tayo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Naka-record tayo, no? Ayun, naka-record. Then, Section 9, ito yung mga procedures, class, to be followed during the negotiation. Ang una dyan, stabilize and contain the situation. Of course, dapat titingnan mo muna kung paano makontrol yan. Select the right time to make contact with the hostage taker. Dapat hindi yung basta-basta papasok agad or agad papasok. Then take time when negotiating. Dapat although time is very important element in negotiation, but of course take time. Okay? Then of course allow hostage taker to speak. Then don't offer the hostage taker anything kasi nga what he will ask for will be part of the negotiation. Dapat do not offer the demand or never reduce the demand, 'di ba? That is the golden rule natin, 'di ba? So ibig sabihin dapat hindi ikaw yung mag-negotiate or hindi ikaw yung mag-offer ng mga anything. Kasi nga baka yun pa yung magdudulot at magpapahamak sa inyo. Kasi kapag nag-offer ka ng anything or nagbigay ng suggestion yung mga hostage taker natin, of course, baka yun pa yung ikakatagal ninyo or yun pa ang magpapamahamak sa inyo. Okay? Then offer the hostage taker anything. Then of course, avoid directing frequent attention to the victim when talking to the hostage taker. Halimbawa, class, during negotiation, nandyan yung victim na held ni tinatawag natin na hostage taker. So dapat every time na nakipag-negotiate kayo, class, do not focus more on the tinatawag natin na do not focus more on the do not focus more on the victim. Okay? So para baka ang isipin kasi niyan is the parang naka-focus ka or gusto mo siyang i-save, di ba? So dapat parang ipa-feel mo na parang wala kang pakialam sa victim. Okay? Kasi kumbaga hindi importante ang victim. But deep inside, of course, ang pinaka-focus ninyo, hi ka doon, no? Ang pinaka-focus nyo doon is yung ma-save ang lives ng biktima. Okay? So again, avoid giving frequent attention to the victim when talking to the hostage taker, class. Kasi of course, para hindi niya rin makuha or hindi niya rin ma-feel yung sense of importance niya. Okay? So that is yung procedures to be followed during the negotiation, class. Nakuha ba ninyo? Nasundan? Nasundan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Then, of course, do not call them, do not call them hostages. Be as honest as possible, avoid tricks. Of course, be sincere. Never dismiss any request from the hostage taker as trivial or unimportant. So, dapat lahat ng sasabihin niya, yes for peace ka lang. Okay? Parang gano'n. So, parang parang pinagbibigyan mo pero hindi naman talaga. Never say no. Dapat lahat ng suggestion niya o lahat ng niya, sige, gagawin natin yan. Okay? Pero of course, hindi. Meron na yung mga pwedeng ibigay at pwedeng hindi. Then, soften the demand. Never set deadline. Try not to accept a deadline. Do not make alternate suggestion not agreed upon in the negotiation. Dapat still ka kung ano yung ino-offer mo. Kung ano yung ino-offer mo or ano yung pinag-usapan ninyo. Kung ano yung nasa negotiation. Do not make alternate suggestion not agreed upon during the negotiation. Then, of course, do not introduce outsiders, yung mga non-law enforcement officers natin into the negotiation process unless their presence is extremely necessary, provided that they shall be properly advised on the do's and don'ts of the hostage negotiation. So, dapat kung meron bang present ng mga private citizen or private individual, dapat na-brief yan sila. Okay, baka ano-ano yung sasabihin nila tapos ikakapahamak pa nila yon. Okay? Then, of course, do not allow any exchange of hostages or swapping of hostages, di ba? So, unless extremely necessary. In particular, do not exchange and negotiate for the hostage. So, of course, last, syempre, of course, yung ang pinaka-aim natin ng negotiation is to save lives. Pero hindi pwedeng yung ipapahamak natin yung yung negotiator for a hostage. Although yung victim is the paramount focus or the focus of our still we need to put on to consideration class kapag hindi siya mag-settle o baka papatayin yung negotiator. So dapat rin nating tingnan 'yon, 'di ba? Then law enforcement officer without proper training shall not be allowed to participate in hostage negotiation. Dapat kasi class kapag sumasabak tayo sa training, meron tayong tinatawag na SOP, the standard operating procedure, the standard na dapat nating ma-met class, particularly when we are when we are settling yung hostage negotiation. Nakuha ba? Okay, so pakibasa nga yung stages of negotiation process. Sir Angelo Manulat, nandiyan Sir Angelo? Wala?
Yes,
Sir?
sir.
Sige, Sir Angelo, pakibasa. Thank you.
Stages of negotiation process. Open, say what you want. Bargain, soften the demand. Close, deal, or exchange.
Okay, the stages in the negotiation process, of course, open, say what you want, bargain, soften the demand, and close, deal, and exchange. Okay, say what you want. That is the 3 stages in the negotiation process. Open, bargain, close. Ganun lang kadali Open, ibig sabihin lahat ng sasabihin mo na gusto mong sabihin mo na. Say what you want, bargain. Okay, tatawaran mo. But of course, hindi ka dapat, ikaw dapat yung mag-lead, hindi ikaw yung mag-settle. Then, of course, close, then deal or exchange. Okay? Kung okay na, then of course, deal na. Okay? So, yan yung tinatawag natin na open, bargain, close. Okay? Nakuha ba? Yan yung 3 stages natin ng negotiation process. Okay, so ito yung mga crisis management team natin, di ba, Cas? Okay, so of course, the mayor, ang pinaka sa taas, then the chief of police, kung saang municipality ba niyan or city, the field commander, then we have the support personnel, yung mga sa fire natin, sa medical team, nandyan rin. Yung sa tactical supervisor natin, yung mga tactical team. Ang negotiation supervisor, negotiating team, then of course, the actor and the hostages. Sa tactical team, of course, they will be activated class kapag during the negotiation or whenever the negotiation fails. Ang support personnel, of course, kapag may napahamak or halimbawa may nasunog, kaya nga diyan sila naka-alerto lang. While ang tactical supervisor or tactical team, so yun sila yung mga, diyan papasok yung mga tinatawag natin guys na assault team. Okay, they will be activated immediately whenever the negotiation fails. Okay, sila yung mga support or backup kapag hindi naging successful yung tinatawag natin na negotiation. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag natin na crisis management team. Okay, so yung tinatawag natin class na assault team, di ba? Nasabi ko kanina, ang assault team, they are responsible in carrying out assaults operation whenever negotiation fails. So, yan class, they will be activated immediately class kapag nagkataon na ang negotiation is pumalya. Okay, whenever the negotiation fails. A unit of specially selected, appointed, trained, and equipped officers that provides assistance in those incidents that would require special tactics, techniques, and equipment. Of course, guys, they are armed, kompleto yan sila, lahat-lahat. Okay, kasi nga, di ba, useless naman yung pag-responde nila or kapag nangyari na when the negotiation fails. So, dapat they are armed or they are equipped with the assistance. And of course, meron silang mga techniques and equipment class or mga special equipment para successfully natin or successfully nila ano yun, yung kanilang function under the PNP 101 or execute yung kanilang function and responsibilities under the PNP manual or under the PNP rules. Okay, yan yung tinatawag natin class na the what we call the negotiation team or the tactical team. Okay? So nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo? Nasundan? Nandiyan ba
Yes,
kayo?
sir.
Okay. So,
Sir,
okay,
yes, sir.
next. Okay, so we have the tactical components dito. Of course, una dyan, we have the tactical supervisor. Ang tactical supervisor, they are responsible for mobilization of the members of the team, deployment of the containment team, development of the tactical plan, and operation of the assault and arrest team. So, ibig sabihin, sila yung mga nagpaplano class when it comes sa tactical field. Yung sa arrest, yung paano i-contain or paano i-control, yung assault, and of course, yung operation na meron. Then, of course, di ba, pag sinabi natin deployment, that is the movement of troops or unit, while ang employment naman, that is the utilization of unit or troop for the purpose of specialization. Okay? So, ang pag sinabi natin deployment kasi class, ganito yan. Deployment, that is the movement. Okay, halimbawa, nag-training sila sa Luzon, then ipatapon sila sa Mindanao, that is deployment. Ibig sabihin, there is a physical movement of troops or unit from one place to another place. While ang employment naman, that is the utilization of units or troops for the purpose of specialization. Ano namang ibig sabihin yan, sir? Okay, ang sa utilization class, ibig sabihin, ilalagay natin ang mga tao na yan kung saan ang kanilang expertise. Okay, yan yung tinatawag natin na utilization. Again, ang utilization, that is the kung saan ang expertise nila, doon natin ilalagay sila. Naka ba? So, yan yung tinatawag natin na utilization of units or troops for the purpose of specialization. Then we have the tactical team is divided into three major components. Of course, una dyan, we have the first component. Ang first component is responsible for maintaining yung perimeter control natin, both inner perimeter and outer perimeter. Tinatawag rin natin yan minsan na containment sub-team. Again, ang first component natin, sila yung nagme-maintain class ng mga perimeter control, yung mga fences natin when it comes to installation, that is the first component. Then, ang second component naman natin, sila naman class ang in charge doon sa apprehension and assault team. Okay, again, ang tinatawag natin na second component is the apprehension and assault team. So members of this sub-team make an undetected approach to the location, plan, and prepare for the release of hostages, and make an assault if necessary. Tinatawag rin natin yan minsan na apprehension and assault sub-team. Again, ang second component, sila yung component class na binubuo ng mga apprehension, ibig sabihin yung taga-aresto, and assault team. Ibig sabihin, sila yung mag-activate whenever the negotiation fails. Yan yung tinatawag natin na second component. Again, ang tawag natin dyan is the second component or minsan tinatawag din natin yan na apprehension and assault sub-team. Then, of course, the third component natin, class, sila yun naman yung mga sa sniper. Sniper/observer sub-team. So, of course, yan yung sila yung third component natin. They have two responsibilities. Una dyan, to provide intelligence on factors present at the location. Yung mga factors na yan may include physical layout, placement of the walls, furniture, specific location of hostages, and hostage taker, clothing and mental state of hostage and hostage taker. So of course, iba-background check nila muna kung sa ano yung location, yung layout, and so on. Then of course, prepare for a shot on the hostage taker. Halimbawa, class, hindi madala, diba? So meron naka-standby na hostage. Okay, meron naka-standby dyan na third component or tinatawag natin na sniper or sub-team. Halimbawa, aalis siya or tatakas siya, di ba? So that or kahit necessary yung shot or barilin siya. So of course, yung sniper or the third component natin will be activated. So yan yung tatlong major components ng tactical team na meron tayo under the PNP manual. Okay. So we have the characteristics of a negotiable incident. Pakibasa ulit. Sino ba muna? Okay, sir. Sir Robin, pakibasa muna.
Characteristics of negotiable incident. One, there must be a need to live on the part of hostage taker, and there must be a threat of force on the part of the authorities, and there must be demands by the hostage taker, and also the negotiator must be seen by the hostage taker as a person who can hurt the hostage taker but is willing to help him. And lastly, there must be time to negotiate.
Okay, thank you. So again, in the characteristics of a negotiable incident, so there must be a need to live on the part of a hostage taker. So ayan. So of course, dapat we will put our, kumbaga i-anticipate natin kung ano yung nararamdaman or ano rin yung saan nanggagaling yung galit or sa bakit ginagawa yan ng ating hostage taker. So dapat there must be a need to live on the part of a hostage taker. Then of course, number two, there must be a threat or force on the part of the authorities. Of course, that is the characteristics. Ibig sabihin normal yan, class. Na kapag there is a hostage taking incident, there is a threat of force. Third, there must be a demands with the hostage taker. Of course, very normal yan in the hostage taking situation or in the hostage incident. There is a demands talaga yan na magagaling sa hostage taker. Then, of course, there is a rule naman na sinusunod natin kung ibibigay natin ang demand na yan or hindi. Okay? Ay, bakit? Wait lang. Okay, so then of course, the negotiator must be seen, sorry, by the hostage taker as a person who can hurt the hostage taker but is willing to help him, di ba? Kasi communication is very important kapag kakausapin niya yan or titingnan niya yan or baka baka okay lang naman, di ba? So kapag halimbawa ipapakita niya na there is an authority. Meron siyang authority over himself. Dahil kapag nakita kasi yan na there is an authority, so ibig sabihin, parang sa tingin niya na hindi basta-basta yung negotiator, di ba? So ibig sabihin, pwede siyang saktan and pwede rin pagbigyan ng kanyang pagbibigyan after that, pwede rin yun yung ikapapahamak niya. Or pwede rin ma-establish na dapat na pagkakatiwalaan. Okay? So yan. Then, of course, there must be a time to negotiate. Of course, meron talaga tayong time to negotiate. Then, of course, take time. So, yan yung tinatawag natin na characteristic of a negotiable incident. Okay? So, yan lang. Okay. So, of course, class, there must be a reliable channel of communication must exist between the hostage taker and the negotiator. Of course, di ba sinabi ko kanina, ang communication is very important yan. Lalo na nakikipag-negotiate ka sa tinatawag natin na hostage taker or of course kasi dapat kung madalas sa pakiusap or madalas sa pag-uusap, so pwede yan. Then second to the last, both the location and the communications of the incident need to be contained in order to encourage negotiation. Dapat yan, ang pinaka-focus mo is makontrol. Then the negotiator must be able to deal with the hostage taker in making decisions. Okay? So, yan. Okay, pakibasa nga ng difference between the hostage, negotiate and crisis negotiation. Mamili naman ako. Si Anthony Valencia. Sir Anthony.
Sir, mayong hapon.
Ay, mayong hapon. Taga saan ka, sir?
Tantangan, sir.
Ay, Tantangan. Ay, malapit lang tayo eh.
Yes, sir.
Malapit. Sige. Saan ka graduate?
Magsaysay Marbel, sir.
Ay, sa Ramon, Magsaysay, Marbel. Okay.
Opo.
Sige. Magkalaban pala tayo. Joke. Hindi. Holy kasi ako eh. Okay, sige.
Jinsan naman, sir. Jinsan.
Ay, tama, Jensen. No? MI kayo, no? MI. Pero
Opo.
isa naman yan. Okay, sige. Difference yun.
Hostage is a person held as a security for fulfillment of certain terms. Negotiate, it means to arrange or settle by conferring or discussing. Crisis negotiation means the use of communication techniques and strategies to influence a person to change his behavior in accordance with goals within legal, ethical, and moral concerns.
Okay na? Okay. So, pag sinabi natin hostage class, of course, it is the person who held as a security for the fulfillment of a certain terms. Kapag na-hostage ka, ibig sabihin class, may gustong kunin sa iyo ang hostage taker, di ba? Maybe, of course, halimbawa, ang kidnapping kasi is ransom. Ang hostage naman, pwedeng halimbawa, gusto niya makalaya or gusto niyang maipalabas or mailabas yung damdamin niya o yung hinanakit niya sa gobyerno, hinanakit niya sa pamilya niya, and so on. So, kumuha siya ng isang tao as a fulfillment of a certain terms or baka pwedeng mapagbigyan siya and so on. Then, of course, kapag sa hostage class, communication is very important. Kapag makausap mo naman siya or mapakausapan, okay lang yan. Then, ang negotiate naman, of course, that is the ability or that is the process to arrange or to settle by conferring or discussing. Diba? Kung makipag-negotiate ka, class, ibig sabihin, mag-uusap talaga kayo. Diba? Baka maayos pa naman, so kailangan natin makipag-negotiate. Kapag hindi, halimbawa, whenever the negotiation fails, that's the time gagamitan na natin siya ng force. Kasi hindi rin tayo pwedeng maggamit ng force o mag-employ ng force agad-agad. Kasi dapat muna kailangan natin kausapin or kailangan natin makipag-negotiate between the party. Okay? So that is negotiate. Then ang crisis negotiation muna. It means the use of communication techniques and strategies to influence person to change his behavior in accordance with goals within legal, ethical, and moral constraint. Diba? Of course, ipagpaintindi mo sa kanya, class, na mali yung ginagawa niya. Of course, ano yung magiging consequence nito kapag halimbawa hindi niya pinakawalan ang kanilang mga hostages. So, ayan. So, of course, that is the communication techniques and strategies, di ba? Para baka pwede namang i-change yung behavior niya. So, of course, i-erase mo doon, class, or sasabihin mo doon kung ano yung mga legal basis natin kung halimbawa hindi niya papakawalan ang kaniyang subject or ang kaniyang biktima. Then, of course, yung moral constraint, di ba? Dapat, of course, sa person, alam niya na hindi tama yung ginagawa niya. So, that is under the crisis negotiation. Nakuha ba? Okay na? Okay na, class?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Thank you. Okay, so of course, we have the priorities in hostage situation. Hindi ko pa narinig. Si Sir Kilo, nandyan? Sir? Sige, sir. Nasa duty ka ba, sir, or wala? Wala naman?
Sir?
Nasa duty ka ngayon or hindi? Nasa duty
Wala
ka?
naman sir, hindi pa po sa boarding sir.
Okay, sige. Sige po. Okay, basa yung priorities in hostage situation.
Priorities in hostage situation, preservation of life, apprehend hostage taker. To successfully negotiate, there must be need to live on the part of the hostage taker and threat of force by the authorities.
Okay, so of course, we have the priorities, class, in hostage situation. Ang pinakauna dyan is the preservation of life. Of course, yung pinakauna natin i-save is yung victims natin. Okay? Then apprehend the hostage taker, i-arrestahin natin, papanagutin natin. Of course, to successfully negotiate, there must be need to live on the part of the hostage taker and a threat of force by the authorities. Ibig sabihin, kahit ano siya, meron at meron pa ring consequence or meron pa ring corresponding penalty yung ginawa niya, 'di ba? Hindi naman pwedeng nakipag-negotiate na siya or nakipag-settle na siya, hindi na siya ikukulong. Meron pa rin yang corresponding, 'di ba? Kasi in the first place, alam niya naman yung ginagawa niya. So ayan, ang priorities in hostage situation, ang una diyan, preservation of life. Pangalawa, apprehension or to arrest the hostage taker. And of course, to finally or to successfully negotiate. Yan yung mga priorities natin in hostage taking situation. Okay. Of course, class, yung how to negotiate using the FBI's 5-step hostage taking strategy. Tandaan nyo, class, ang ISAP, of course, familiar kayo sa ISAP, no? Familiar ba kayo sa ISAP? That is the Intelligence Service of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Of course, that is the intelligence agency ng ating Armed Forces of the Philippines. Di ba? We have the Philippine Navy, Philippine Army, Philippine Air Force, and the Philippine Marine Corps. So that is under the Intelligence Service of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. So under the how to negotiate, class, using the FBI's 5-step hostage strategy. FBI kasi, class, is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the counterpart of the National Bureau of Investigation in the Philippines. So ang sinabi niya, the key is not to convince them of anything, but instead to start by first understanding them from their own perspective, which means first shut up and listen. Okay, ulitin natin. Ang pinakauna natin dyan, okay nga, na i-considerate, class, in FBI 5-step hostage strategy, dapat first shut up and listen. Ibig sabihin, hindi tayo agad-agad mag-o-offer or hindi tayo agad-agad mag-convince kung ano yung maibibigay natin o may offer. Dapat, let's first understand yung kanilang perspective, kung saan sila nanggagaling, ano yung pinag-uugutan nila. Okay, that is under the FBI 5-step hostage strategy. Okay. Okay, so nakuha ba? Nakuha? Nasundan nyo? Nasundan?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ayan. Dapat una, class, first shut up. Makinig ka muna and listen. Okay, tumahimik ka muna and listen. Then of course, shut up and listen. Okay, pakibasa muna. Gusto ko marinig yung ibang boses rin. Si Martin. Nandiyan mo si Martin.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, Sir Martin, pakibasa yung shut up and listen.
Shut up and listen. The strategy is called the Stairway Model and was developed by the FBI for negotiating in hostage situations where emotions run high and rational thinking is often absent. Its simple elegance comes from how it turns your intuitive approach inside out.
Okay, thank you. So under the shut up and listen, ang tawag natin dyan na strategy, class, is stairway model. Ang stairway model was developed by the FBI for negotiating in hostage situation. So di ba, where emotion runs high and rational thinking is often absent. Ibig sabihin, masyadong napapangunahan or nadadala sa emosyon. But of course, hindi nag-iisip. Kasi pag sinabi natin rational, ibig sabihin, class, pinag-iisipan mo. Dito, hindi nila pinag-iisipan. So that's why, ang stairway model, so dapat merong approach or dapat step by step. Hindi natin dapat pairalin yung masyadong yung emotion natin. Dapat hindi manguna yung emotion in conducting yung tinatawag natin, class, na negotiation. Okay, ang tawag natin doon is stairway model. Nakuha ba? Nasundan ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so dapat intindihin nyo yung class, ang ganda ng ang dinidiscuss natin, no? Na-encounter nyo ba to sa ibang mga discussion? Hindi, no? Hindi ba? Then,
Wala,
of course,
sir, bago.
bago? Okay. So, ayan. So, ganun na, kaya hindi familiar sa inyo, class. Kasi yan yung mga bago or kailangan talaga i-discuss or basic na lumalabas sa board exam. Nakakalimutan yun eh. Kasi ito yung international standard in negotiation. Then, most of us want to start on the last step of stairway model. We want to modify the other person's behavior, thinking, and desired outcomes by convincing them that we are right and they are wrong. So, mali yun, class. So dapat muna shut up and listen. So hindi mo pwedeng sabihin agad-agad na mali ka kasi, ganito, ganyan. Dapat, ano mo muna, try to understand them in their own perspective, kung saan sila nanggagaling. So hindi mo dapat i-convince sila na mali sila at ito yung tama at ako yung tama. Hindi ganoon, okay? Kaya nga we have the stairway model or yung shut up and listen. Okay, ibig sabihin, let them be, okay? Let them speak. Okay, naipahayag kung ano yung nasa loob nila. Then after that, doon mo na masisense or doon mo na ma-address. Ganito pala ang problema nila. So, of course, that's the time yung communication papasok. Okay? Shut up and listen. Okay, so pakibasa, sino muna? Si Joel De Vela. Joel. Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, sige, pakibasa.
The blunt truth is that we never get someone to see things our way until they first believe that we can see things their way.
Okay. So ayan, the blunt truth is that we never get someone to see things our way until they first believe that we can see things their way. Ibig sabihin, kapag we understand them, okay? Ibig sabihin kapag nakinig tayo sa kanila or nakinig tayo sa kung ano yung side nila, of course, feeling nila yan, naiintindihan nila or naiintindihan natin sila. Okay? So ayan, we never get someone to see things our way until they first believe that we can see things their way. Ibig sabihin, kapag we give them, binigyan natin sila ng time na magsalita or ipaliwanag kung ano yung nasa loob nila, of course, mafe-feel nila yan na whenever na kung ano man yung sabihin nila, mas paniniwalaan or binigyan natin sila ng chance to defend themselves or to express yung sarili nila. Kung ano yung nasa loob. That is the truth. Okay? So thank you. Next, ano natin? Okay, so of course we have the active listening class. Okay, dito sa active listening, pasok pa rin doon sa FBI strategy. So ang active listening means listening without judging. Dapat makinig ka muna ha. Halimbawa sa hostage taker, pakinggan mo muna kung ano yung hinanaing niya. And making sure the party you're listening to knows that you heard them. Okay? Ibig sabihin, oo, naiintindihan ko or naririnig ko. Okay, kung ano yung pinanggagalingan nyo, active listening. Parang nag-uusap kayong dalawa, yung hostage taker, ikaw yung negotiator. Pag nagsasalita siya, dapat attentive ka. Hindi yung tingin-tingin ka dito, tingin ka doon, or may kakausapin ka. Hindi dapat straight sa mata niya, o, di ba? Active listening yan. Ibig sabihin, nakikinig ka without judging them or without judging him or her. So that is active listening. Okay? Empathy. Pakibasa nga ng empathy, mamimili ako. Si John Mico Baswell. John Mico Baswell. Nandyan ba? Nandyan si Mico. Taga saan ka, Sir Mico?
Pangasinan po.
Sa?
Pangasinan, sir.
Ay, Pangasinan. Ay, marami akong student dyan sa Pangasinan eh. Sa Cream Coach, then sa mga ano rin. Okay. Saan school ka nang galing?
Doon po sa sir, sa Northern po, kay Dindol po.
Okay. Sige. Okay, pakibasa muna. Yung, wait lang,
Empathy.
itaas ko. Empathy.
To feel for someone else. True empathy is understanding why someone else feels the way they do and then connecting by sharing those feelings. A hostage negotiator doesn't have to agree with anything that the person they are negotiating with is telling them, but they do need to understand deeply why that person is saying what they are saying and acting the way they are acting.
Okay, so and the empathy, ibig sabihin class, to feel for someone else, true empathy is understanding why someone else feels the way they do and when connecting by sharing those feelings. Diba, mga hostage taker natin, diba, kailangan natin ng empathy. A hostage negotiator doesn't have to agree with anything that the person they are negotiating with is telling them. Okay, but they do need to understand deeply why that person is saying what they are saying and acting the way they are acting, di ba? So yun yung tinatawag natin, empathy. by listening to them, by understanding their side of the story, or by understanding kung ano yung kanilang version. Of course, sa kanilang galing yon. So that is empathy. Kapag may empathy class, of course, there is connection na nabibuild between the hostage taker and the negotiator. Kailangan rin natin yan, yung empathy na yan, class, to understand how the way they feel or bakit ganyan sila yung actions na ginagawa nila. Ay, ganito kasi, ganito ganyan. Ganito kasi yung pinangano niyan. Hindi kami nabibigyan ng pansin. So, yun yung tinatawag natin empathy. Understanding their point of view. Kung saan sila nanggagaling or ano yung pinaghuhugutan nila. Nakuha ba ninyo? So, yan yung tinatawag natin na empathy. Hindi naman lahat, class, ng statement na sasabihin nila, na lalabas sa bibig nila, paniniwalaan mo. Of course, you have to understand, okay, yun pala yung perspective niya. So, walang mali naman doon. Okay, that is empathy. Okay, so yan. Okay, so the reason it comes second on the staircase is because you clearly cannot do that if you do not first suspend judgment and listen long enough to other person. Diba dapat listening without judgment? Diba kanina sinasabi natin? Although silence during any conversation will feel awkward, learn to live with it. When you try to feel silence just to avoid if you lose the opportunity to learn about the other person, that's through it or out this process usually in the first step. So dapat, of course, kapag hindi ka mahilig class na makinig, no? Okay? Or gusto mo ikaw yung palagi nagsasalita, alisin mo yung sarili mo under this, yung phrase na to, yung empathy. You need to listen muna, then you suspend the judgment. Okay? So, yan. Okay, how about naman yung number 3, rapport? Pakibasa nga, Sir Adrian Angelo Forcadilla. Nandyan ka, Sir Forcadilla? Nandyan ba? Si Martin.
Sir.
Sir Martin, sige. Sir Martin, pakibasa muna what is rapport under the FBI strategy.
Rapport. Once you have established understanding of other person's state of mind, their motives and their objectives, you can then start to respond in kind with words that will resonate with the person you are negotiating with. This isn't manipulation, and if it's seen that way, you need to step into their mindset and accept that the only way to reach them is through their own view of themselves and their situation. In a manner of speaking, you are developing a form of Stockholm syndrome. The term used describe how to stage begin to see, understand, and ultimately adapt the rationale of their captors.
Okay. So, ang rapport, of course, class, pag once you establish an understanding of other person's state of mind, their motives, their objectives, you can then start to respond in kind words. Will resonate with the person you are negotiating with. So, ang rapport class, that is hindi yan manipulation. So, ang rapport class, ibig sabihin, you will establish relationship sa kinakausap mo, di ba? So, ano ba? You are a negotiator, then merong hostage taker dyan, kinakausap mo siya, kailangan mo mag-establish ng rapport or the relationship through communication. Tama yan, Robin. Okay? Through communication. Yan yung tinatawag natin na rapport class. Relationship or connection. Diba? Kapag may connection ka, diba? May mga speaker. Okay, diba? Kahit sabihin natin, may mga lecturer or may mga instructor, mga professors, diba, na nagtuturo or nagtuturo, pero they cannot relate or they cannot build rapport or they cannot build relationship. Hindi nila matatransfer ng maayos ang alam nila sa students nila. So, halimbawa, ganito dito tayo, we are establishing rapport. Naiintindihan niyo ako, naiintindihan ko kayo. Yan yung tinatawag natin na rapport or relationship. Ibig sabihin, my objectives, my motives, my state of mind, natatransfer niya sa inyo. Kung ano yung sa utak ko, natatransfer niya sa inyo. Ibig sabihin, nakaka-build tayo ng relationship or yung tinatawag natin na rapport. Ibig sabihin, nauunawaan ninyo na-internalize ninyo, kung sinasa puso ninyo, that is the rapport. Same as true sa tinatawag natin na hostage negotiation, di ba? Kailangan mo mag-build ng relationship with your hostage taker, with a hostage taker kapag you are a negotiator. Okay, in a manner of speaking, you are developing a form of Stockholm syndrome, di ba? The term used to describe how hostages begin to see, understand, and ultimately adopt the rational reasons of the captors. Kung ano yung naiisip ng captors or yung hostage taker. That is rapport class. Building relationship with the, of course, through the channels of communication. Yung nakikipag-usap ka. Tama? Nakuha ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, bakit walang sumagot? Okay, yan yung tinatawag natin na rapport. Then, of course, meron tayong tinatawag, yung number 4 is influence. Makibasa, influence, si Vector, ay hindi pa. Pwede ka makabasa, Sir Victor? Pinsurto? Ay,
Yes, sir.
sige.
Yes, sir. Influence as a weather problem solved without someone because you understand their objective and have illustrated and willingness to help them achieve it.
Okay. So again, influence, of course, as a way to problem solving with someone because you understand their objective and have illustrated the willingness to help them achieve it. Halimbawa, class,
Sir, wala pa kayo.
nawala ba? Nawala ako, class?
Bumalik na, sir.
Okay. So again, under the influence class, ibig sabihin, you have to understand their objective. Then you illustrate the willingness to help them. Halimbawa, kapag you already establishing rapport, nagkaintindihan na kayo, then yung influence na yan, okay, kahit ganito kahit nag-settle na tayo, kahit nagkamali ka man, okay, but of course, there is a chance na itama yung pagkakamali mo. So that is influence. Okay, ibig sabihin, pwede nang ma-admit or yung time na yan, class, ma-admit na sa sarili ng hostage taker na nagkamali siya. Ibig sabihin, that's the time na pwede niyang i-submit voluntarily yung sarili niya sa mga authorities or sa iyo na negotiator. Kasi nga, you understand their objective, napalabas niya na kung ano yung hinanakit niya, then you are more than willing to help them to achieve yung kanilang objective or may tama yung kanilang maling paniniwala. Okay? That is influence. Nakuha ba? Nakuha, class?
Yes,
Nakuha
sir.
niyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yan yung influence natin. Then of course, yung pinaka natin is behavioral change, okay? Pakibasa nga yung last natin, si Tons. Sino si Tons? Tons, nandyan. How about
Hi, sir.
sige, Tons. Babae pala si Tons?
Yes po.
Okay, Tons. Behavioral change, pakibasa.
Behavioral change. Unfortunately, this last step is where most of us start. We accept to be able to change someone's behavior by pointing out to them what's wrong with the way they are currently thinking, acting, and behaving. Good luck with that. It's called arrogance.
Thank you. So, yan yung tinatawag natin, class, na behavioral change, di ba? This is the last step. But of course, where most of us start, minsan, last step sana yan, pero dapat, yung iba, mostly, dyan sila nagsisimula, di ba? Kung saan, pino-point out nila agad-agad kung ano yung mali. Okay? Ano yung mali sa pag-iisip niya, sa kinikilos niya, and of course, sa behavior niya. Okay? So, yung tawag natin dyan, arrogance. Dapat, of course, wag mo agad-agad i-point out na ikaw kasi mali, ganito, ganyan. So, that is behavioral change. Okay? So, that is yan yung pinaka hindi magandang dapat palaging huli yan. Okay? Sa last part mo na sabihin na nagkamali ka, ganito yung pagkakamali mo, hindi yung agad-agad i-point out mo sa kanya na nagkamali ka, ito yung mali mo. Kasi nga baka patayin ka niya. Okay? Patayin niya yung mga subjects or mga victims na hawak niya. Kasi nga, very important, class, yung step na yan when conducting yung negotiation. First off, you are making the fatal assumption that your truth is only the truth. Okay? So, yan yung tinatawag natin na class. So, dapat, dapat tingnan mo muna yung point, yung perspective na meron sila ba? Meron sila. Do you want things to be different? Of course, Yeah, AR is the beginning of behavioral change. Of course, una dyan, active listening. Dapat kailangan natin tawag nito, kailangan natin makinig without judging them. Di ba? Active listening. Empathy, naiintindihan natin sila. Understanding. Rapport, we must build a relationship with yung kinakausap natin. Influence, ang influence, ibig sabihin naiintindihan natin sila and we are willing to help them in any way possible. Then of course, behavioral change. So, hindi natin agad-agad i-point out kung ano yung pagkakamali nila. Nagkamali man sila, then of course, there is a chance pa rin na itama nila. So that is the behavioral stay-away model developed by the FBI Crisis Negotiation Unit. Okay? So yan, guys. Nakuha ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yan. Diyan muna mag-end ang ating discussion. So mamayang gabi, baka may klase tayo, mamayang klase mag-update ako sa ating GC, mga ano siguro, mga 6:30 or kahit 2 hours lang, ma-start na natin yung ibang area.